Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, another historic day for the IU football team. Our reporters have the recap. And the IU soccer teams can enjoy their brand new facilities as they look forward to the start of their season. This is Hoosier Sports Night. Hello, and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Molly Gallenberg. The Hoosiers looked to make history yet again this season as they faced off against the number 23 ranked Michigan Wolverines last Saturday at Memorial Stadium. Our Jevin McCoskey has the recap.
For the first time in over 3 decades, the Indiana Hoosiers have defeated the Michigan Wolverines, and in dominating fashion.
This is something that we go out every day and practice. We practice hard for moments like this, and I feel like, just the guys took advantage of all our situation. We executed at a high level, especially with a good team like that. We have to make sure that we play great football, and that's what we did today.
Man, I just can't be any more proud of a group of young men than I am right now, this team. Just their toughness and grit and fight just has been unbelievable, just the way they played from start to finish. But this team believed, and they went out and proved it today in how we played.
The Indiana defense continued their dominance, holding Michigan to just 13 total rushing yards and only 21 points.
I feel like the linebackers and the D-line did a great job today. And it was really the job was going to be on us, the secondary, to come up with big stops and make big plays. So it all really starts with the D-line and the linebackers. They did a great job today, so shout out to them.
Career performances from quarterback Michael Penix Jr. with nearly 350 passing yards and wide receiver Ty Freifogel with 7 catches for 142 receiving yards, mixed with the explosiveness of this IU defense, helped propel IU to their 3rd victory of the season over the Michigan Wolverines.
Yes, Mike's been really great, and we just been progressing each and every week, and that's what's scary for us. We're getting the passing game, the offense just getting better each and every week. I just feel like we need to keep progressing.
The O-line, they blocked their tails off today. They gave me a lot of time in the pocket, and I was able to find those receivers. And the receivers made great plays. They got open. Ty Fry, he had a great game. That's something that we expect out of him. He shows us every day in practice. He works hard, and he deserves it.
Indiana will be back in action next week at Michigan State. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Jevin McCoskey.
The now number 10 ranked Indiana will look to stay hot as they travel to East Lansing to face off against Michigan State. Make sure to follow Haley Jordan and Jevin McCoskey to keep up with the action. While the Hoosiers were able to have their own celebration in the locker room, many fans around Bloomington took their partying into the streets. Indiana fans mobbed outside Memorial Stadium and packed the streets on Kirkwood in celebration of IU's win. And this wasn't the first time, as students also filled the streets after the Hoosiers beat Penn State just 2 weeks earlier. The university doubling down on its messages that the students can see discipline for breaking city guidelines. Here's what IU spokesperson Chuck Carney said about celebrating after Indiana's overtime win over Penn State.
The pandemic did not go away because Michael Penix was able to reach the goal line. So we have to be careful continuously. And so we will be taking action if we determine people were there and they were not following the safety protocols.
Now moving on to the basketball court, where another week means another Trayce Jackson Davis preseason award. TJD was named one of 10 players selected for the 2020-2021 men's basketball preseason All Big Ten team and a member of the Karl Malone watch list. Despite all his preseason accomplishments, he said, "It's an honor to get those, but I'm here to win games." The Hoosiers are ranked outside the top 25 in the preseason AP poll, but received the 5th most votes among unranked teams. IU tips off November 30th against Providence. For the first time in the history of Indiana women's basketball, they are heading into the season as the favorites to win the Big Ten, according to the AP and coaches' polls. Coach Morin touched on the rankings, saying, "It is an honor to be picked at the top 10 of the Big Ten preseason rankings. However, these rankings won't matter when the games begin this year." The Hoosiers' good news didn't end there, as they also had 2 preseason All Big Ten players selected. Senior Allie Patberg and junior Grace Berger were named to both the coaches and media selected teams. Patberg was also named to the Nancy Lieberman Award watch list as one of the 20 best point guards in the nation, while Berger made the Cheryl Miller list for the nation's best small forwards. And while each team prepares for opening tip-off, IU Athletics has announced a date for its yearly Hoosier Hysteria showcase, although this year's will look much different. Hoosier Hysteria will be virtual this year on Wednesday, November 18th, with fans able to view the event on each team's Facebook. The women's team will have player introductions, a look into a team scrimmage, and an interview from Coach Morin starting at 7:30 p.m. The men's program will start half an hour later at 8. With no start to the season in sight for the men's and women's soccer teams, they at least get to enjoy some new digs while they stay prepared for the spring.
There's a new home for IU men's soccer. After years in the making, the Jerry F. Tardy Center fully opened this fall.
We've been working honestly on this since middle 2000s on not necessarily what we're in today, but the concept. I remember specifically with having some conversations and having kind of a philosophical meeting about what Armstrong Stadium needs to have, not only short term but long term.
New locker room, meeting, and team spaces are all offered, providing a world-class men's soccer team with a world-class facility.
I mean, it was unbelievable. But to finally get in here and see it, just from an everyday working environment, I'm looking out. My window is right at at midfield, basically. It's a beautiful functioning space.
In the short term, they haven't had the chance to use the facilities much as of yet. With a February 3rd start date penned in for the NCAA season, the opportunity is coming up very soon. For Coach Todd Yeagley, the facilities have even more meaning because of the work put in by the ones that came before him.
They're really impressed. They're obviously proud of what we've done, but this just gives it one more proud moment. And I think my father in particular, knowing where he has worked and his offices and where the stepping stones have been. I mean, we appreciate everything that much more because, he really had his first office in what would be today a custodial closet in Assembly Hall. And I tell the players all the time, everyone before you is giving you this opportunity. Now you got to pay it forward. You got to put your mark on this program so that in 10, 15, 20 years, we can take it even farther. And that's powerful.
For iOS TV Sports, I'm Jack Edwards.
While no official start date for the season has been released, the NCAA has announced the College Cup will be held May 13th through the 17th in Cary, North Carolina at Wake Med Soccer Park. And while future Hoosiers will use this facility as they pursue a national title, several former IU soccer players are seeking a title of their own at the professional level. With a playoff spot on the line for Montreal, Mason Toy came off the bench and assisted on the game-winning goal as the Impact clinched the number 9 seed in the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, Aiden Morris and the Columbus Crew finished their season with a win as they sit near the top of the conference. Tommy Thompson and the Earthquakes lost their final game, but still grabbed the last playoff spot in the West. And Andrew Grootman played a full 90 minutes Sunday, but will not continue his year as Cincinnati finished last in the league. And on to the NFL, where several other former Hoosiers are deep in the playoff hunt. Running back Jordan Howard made his return to the Dolphins lineup, scoring a touchdown in Miami's win. Roger Saffold also helped a team to a win, anchoring Tennessee's offensive line in their win over the Bears. And Dan Feeney helped Los Angeles to 26 points, but the Chargers still lost the game. And finally, former Hoosier basketball star Victor Oladipo may be leaving his home state. Multiple reports suggest that Oladipo has been vocal throughout the season about wanting to leave the Indianapolis Pacers, even mentioning his intentions in front of his teammates. And that's our show for the week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like our page, IUS TV Sports on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at IUS TV Sports. For everyone at home and our production crew behind us, I'm Molly Gallenberg. We'll see you next week.